Hello there.
Hi.
Today we're doing a Halloween Spookcast. It's like a podcast, but spookier.
Oh,
We've picked a bunch of spooky stories, because they're spooky, and we thought we'd share them with you. And then he's gonna hopefully come up with a spooky story off the top of his head. I've already kind of come up with an idea. Then he's gonna rant about why candy costs so much. Then we're gonna talk about why he hates Axe, or why we hate Axe body spray. And then talk about whatever comes to mind for a little bit. That's the name of the podcast. It is Ivan and
wasn't taken from someone else.
Spookcast. No, I was suggesting spooktacular as in we steal the Yog pods.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I don't
Spookcast.
watch them, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay. The title of the podcast will be Ivan and Jonathan read a couple spooky stories, make up a couple spooky stories, talk about why Axe body spray costs so much, and then talk about why candy costs so much. Then we talk about whatever comes to mind, and then it's done. It's the name of the podcast, does what it says on the tin, and that's a very important thing with marketing nowadays. People want it to do what it says on the tin.
I think most things don't come in tin these days. Just as a reminder.
What it says on the podcast, aka YouTube feed. Yeah. So do you want to go first, or shall I?
I guess I'll read mine first.
Okay. So this one.
It's loading.
How slow, actually? Okay. Does your laptop?
Okay, there we go.
Do you want to read yours? Or read your stuff?
It's slower than molasses. So.
This is called Forced Story Time. It is on Creepypasta.
Yeah, I'll leave the links to all of these. I'm trying to find a description.
We will. I mean, we will.
Well, at least I will.
It doesn't say who it's by.
Oh.
On Creepypasta here. So.
Or otherwise, we'd give credit to someone, but I mean, if there is no.
Feel free to read.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not a 5-minute read.
I mean, it says 5 minutes, but I feel like it's gonna be like 10.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
But we'll see. Okay. I'll go. I gotta scroll back up now. Okay. I just got my computer privileges back. I can't tell you how long I've been without it, but it's been amazing to have my laptop back. You might think I'm some young fuck. Okay, I got. He was gonna tell you how much life sucks because mommy took
my computer away because I was not nice.
I did something wrong or some bullshit. That's not the case. I don't live with my parents anymore. We're not estranged. I've just grown up.
Wait, did he get it taken away from like a court order or what?
I don't know.
He's just like, okay, computer, get out of my house. I do not want to see you anymore. Also, I'm gonna need you to sign these divorce papers.
I wonder how long it's been since I talked to them last. How long it's been since I talked to anyone. I suppose I should start at the beginning of this living fucking nightmare.
That wasn't the beginning?
I thought it was, but I mean, I guess it starts down here.
Okay, I'll stop interrupting.
As I've hinted at, my sense of time is shot to shit now that I have my computer. I can tell you the date.
That's accurate.
But that doesn't matter. It still doesn't tell me how long it's been. If I have had to take a guess, it's been at least 3 months. 3 months is some sensory-deprived zombie huddled in the shadow with a notebook and a pen. However long it
Wait, he's a zombie?
I don't know. I haven't read this story before. I only read the beginning.
Oh.
I was sitting in my apartment, insomnia plaguing me yet another night. Okay,
if your lights aren't off right now, I'll kick your ass. Okay, it's off.
I need to send you a picture with my lights off.
Are they off right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Except I've got 2 bright monitors and a graphics card and a computer.
Yeah. I was more than used to it. It took me a few hours to assemble all the details at night, but I think I've got all that's needed to tell you my story. I've never been a fan of short stories, video games, movies, books, you name it. Nothing would attract me to something faster than a good creep factor. Even at a young age, I'd bemoan my great misfortune to never have a paranormal encounter.
Oh yeah, you're like, I wish a ghost would drag me out of bed and flush me down my toilet. Like, I just hate it when I don't get dragged out of bed every night and flushed down my toilet by some ghost. God!
A lack of any sort of a event to prove to me firsthand that the paranormal even exists. Had I any clue and no idea, any pre-notion, I would have fucking dropped the interest right then and there. Maybe got into ponies or some other frilly girly safe interest, but I didn't. So I'm here. Yes, this is important to the story. Apparently they wanted to be a brownie.
Nope, I'm not okay with this. Get out. Get out of my town.
So it was another insomnia plague night, looking for
Again?
something to make myself. This is the definition of you.
Yep.
Make myself paranoid, send that cold chill down my spine. Maybe even force a suppressed cry of surprise from me. It was fairly successful adventure. Short stories on the internet were my source. Where my source for the evening. It started out with me listening to the narrated stories on YouTube while playing on my 360. Yes, creepy short stories. I do mean creepypastas.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're reading this.
I just can't bring myself to seriously include it in this account.
Pasta
Every time I hear it referenced or mentioned in one of those short stories, it just strikes me as jarring, taking me from the moment. It's the whole fourth wall concept. But that's just me anyways. I got frustrated at the game I was playing and just put the controller down. Besides, I had already listened to all the creepypasta stories on YouTube. I decided to focus singularly.
How many fucking are on YouTube?
And I don't know, look it up.
I'm gonna.
I mean something creepy on the internet. I tried ghost captured on camera and a dozen other variations.
Oh, that was a good one.
Searching for interest in YouTube videos. Nothing new.
Okay, about 3,840,000 results on YouTube if you search up creepypasta.
Okay.
So, I'm pretty sure.
They had some time on their hands. I turned to the greater internet. I ended up on a number of less well-known forums. They had some decent stories on them. Made me check behind me a time or two. The last
Maybe there's
one
a clown behind you.
Oh, there is.
If you're sitting in your car right now, driving to work, if you're for some reason listening to this when you're driving to work, there's a clown in your back seat, and if it's not there, it's in your trunk with a machete. And a bunch of, and it's a red balloon that's about to pop when you see it. And if you're in your bed listening to us, as like I listen to the Yog Pod as I try to fall asleep, which rarely works, you know, it's below your bed or in your closet. If you're on the bus, don't look behind you.
Oh,
it's kind of like a weeping angel in Doctor Who. Like, you want to avoid looking at it because then it's stone, but the second you look at it, it's not stone and it's coming to axe murder you.
Oh.
Okay, go on.
Okay. They had some decent stories on them, made me check behind me a time or two. The last one I can remember reading is the one I regret the most. It was short. It wasn't even a story. It was just a short description of an unnamed creature. I thought it was sort of cool. Would have never liked to see some art of them. Okay, never mind. Whatever. He would have liked to see some art of it. It was then that I heard the scratching. I barked at my cat to knock it off.
Ruff! Ruff!
That apparently that's what happens. But when I looked over my shoulder, the cat was sleeping on the bed, so it wasn't her. Great. I had mice in the apartment. Great. I fucking hate mice. I'll just try to ignore it and hope that they invade one of the other's neighbors or the cats get them.
It should not be my problem. It should be your problem.
Yeah,
bring it into your house. I do not want to hear Mickey Mouse making new Mickey Mouses in my walls.
If they dared to stick their heads out of their hiding holes, I went about my business. The scratching continued and it was getting louder. Come to think of it, I had never heard mice make such great noises. Rats? I hate rats more. If they were in the building, me and the landlord were to have a talk, and still that fucking scratching, I got frustrated, and I wanted needed to know what was making that noise. I checked around in the kitchen, in the cabinets, under the sink, in the oven, even around the fridge.
Once I discovered there was a rat in the oven, I cranked it up on clean.
Nothing. It was only as I gave up that I saw it sitting on my counter, a small black creature no larger than a kitten. Holy shit, that's a big ass rat. If it was no larger than a fucking kitten, you know.
Wait, he looked around the fridge, checked around the kitchen, but then it was just on his counter. Yep. I don't get this logic.
I'm not going to tell you more about the creature. I'm not even sure what to call it. I can't tell you what attracted them to me, but I have my suspicions. Fucking like, hold on, I gotta think.
You gotta read with more emotion.
I don't know. I never read out loud, so
same.
I mean, other than when I'm forced to in school, which I can't read out loud anymore.
You're just reading to yourself.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
Living the sweet life.
And I'm doing all I can to put you as in little danger as possible. One suspicion comes from the fact that these creatures are eerily similar to the ones I had read about. As mentioned above, it's possible.
What if this happens to us?
Well, I don't know.
I'm just gonna.
Or it could be knowing how they appear attracts them. Hell, maybe they put up the description, just waited for me to find it and read it.
Assholes.
So they just have some random ass rat posting to creepypasta. They seem to have a taste for the dramatic. It's here that my memory goes. I have snippets, just flashes of images, ideas, smells, vague gut feelings, odd sensations. It's all blurred.
Did you say vague? Vague. It's vague.
Vag?
No, vague. No. Oh my god. Vague.
Okay, I got this. Smells. Vag. Gut feelings.
Like, I want you dead.
Okay, I gotta continue. Odd sensations. It's all blurred. Not sure if some of my memories aren't just from my head or badly assembled pieces from other memories. So from here, I'll do my best, but I won't be able to tell you everything. I myself don't know everything.
Wait, he has memories pluralized. Like twice. Yeah, well, memories.
Well, you never know.
No, he did quote unquote memories, but he did like he didn't do it right.
Hey, I didn't write this. I'm just reading it because I read the first paragraph. Okay.
Okay, you keep going. I'll actually shut up this time.
Okay. Somehow I ended up writing fiction or these black creatures. From what I remember, they can communicate not verbally, but they can communicate telepathically. No,
with dead bodies. They
mostly
they spell out words with dead bodies.
No. They do the thing from Stranger Things with the lights.
What?
Okay, well, you don't watch Stranger Things, so
No, I don't.
Okay. Mostly they use motions, gestures, and growls. Wouldn't growls be verbally? Technically.
Growling, motion
Yeah.
gestures, and growls.
We said growls, so wouldn't that be verbally?
I guess. Rrr.
Fucking retarded.
Rrr.
Mind you, I've never.
Well, maybe he
Well,
means he's like
I've
speaking
only.
it.
Yeah, I guess. Mind you, I've only ever seen them communicate with me. Okay. Never each other. They interact with each other, but it's different. Anyways, somehow they got me to write fiction for them, so these rats can read.
Harry Potter.
They remind me of people, or at least some people. They like short horror stories. So most of my memories are written short horror stories into a notebook. When I'd finish a story, I'd tear it out, give it to them. They'd cry and cheer as the pages were carried off, fought over, and eventually taken somewhere else. Never seen any of those pages again. Ever
We're
think
reading
since
one
they're a
of them
fucking
right now.
yeah, it's the fucking rats. They put them on here.
Assholes.
Okay. That's why there isn't any credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like the last story. This is where my memory gets a little more concrete. I was starting to regain control of my consciousness. Up to this point, I was just some half-minded, barely conscious zombie churning out work. I guess being more cognizant. I feel like they were. Is that even a word?
I don't even. Okay, let's look this up. It's C-O-G, cognizant. C-O-G-N-N-I-Z-A-N-T.
Yeah, it is a word. I just never have read it before, so I didn't know how to pronounce it.
What does it mean?
My work was
having knowledge
different.
or being aware of.
I forced a lot of it, cutting out some ideas and parts just to get the creatures who had obviously been kept waiting too long. Their new story, I gave it to them unsure of this one. They didn't like it. They screamed and hissed, gesturing violently at me as they ripped the pages up. I tried to defend my case, telling them I was tired. I lacked inspiration. I was hungry. I needed time and a break. I guess something got to them. They allowed me my computer back for inspiration, and fewer of them around me.
It's secretly his parents dressed up in, like, you know, they make those green suits. It's like a black suit.
I'm not sure why they gave me some privileges back. Do they know I'm becoming more aware again? Are they setting me up for another nightmarish vapor trip? I don't know. All I know is they want more stories. I'm not sure what will happen if I displease them again. I can only guess and imagine. It's not uplifting, so for now, I'll do what I can. All right, try to talk to them into giving me more back. Maybe next time I can get my phone back. One of them just scampered over to my desk and started screaming at me, a high-pitched crackling noise, and used a claw to cut my cheek. Pointing at the screen made more noises and then scampered back to the shelf where it had been sitting. I guess it somehow figured out that I'm not writing a story for it. I'll have to finish here. I'll try to get more out when I can.
Oh, then it says credit to the captive.
Okay, so the captive, it's okay.
Yo, captive, learn your fucking grammar.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
All I can say is
it was posted on Halloween 2012.
I laughed at it more than I got chills from it, okay?
Was that because I was commenting constantly?
I mean, there was a few things that I laughed at it too, but for the most part, I mean, it could be, but...
Could be better.
Yeah. You know, and the reading time, I think that's off.
Considering we're at 20 minutes, we just hit... I think that could be partially because of me.
Yeah.
Okay, here. So this one is called The White Doors. Let's see if there's a author. This one says its reading time is 8 minutes and it's like 50 paragraphs. I can definitely read 50 paragraphs in 8 minutes silently, but out loud with my Shakespearean speak.
Yeah, see me, I just talk like this.
Once upon a time, there was a goat. The goat died. The end.
Well, wait. Where? The white. I was like, what?
No, I was joking with you.
Okay. For a second, I was like, what?
So, the White Doors, it's got 9.0 rating out of 256 votes. It's pretty good. Horror in real life doesn't come suddenly. It's not a shock or a reactionary scream. Horror in real life is a slow realization that occurs over the course of years. It needs time to mold, decay, and spread. True horror is painful, often sad, and tragic. It's a slow deorientation, separating you from all forms of comfort and happiness. It is this kind of horror that I have felt ever since I learned of my mother's passing. Sorry. The circumstances of her death did not make things any easier. It wasn't a slow death to make time, or with time to make amends, or just adjust or say goodbye. She hadn't been fighting a disease or infection for years. She wasn't old and nearing the end of her life. Her death came quickly and unexpectedly. Kind of like that JFK. Oh, okay, that was insensitive. Sorry. My mother, who after divorce and my brothers moving away, had been living alone. She kept herself busy by working for the church and caring for her parents. My last couple of visits home, I had noticed that she seemed more fragile than she could for a woman her age. Ooh. She had lost weight and seemed starved for visitors. There was also a look in her eyes that bothered me. They were sleepless, panicked, and broken. It seemed as if she wanted to tell me something but couldn't. Instead, she would just smile sadly and change the subject. I was told that my brother found her one late night in October, locked downstairs in the bathroom, naked, lying in her own blood with her wrists sliced open. She was 63 years old. Knowing that suicide is a mortal sin in the Catholic Church, and my mother being a devout Catholic, I couldn't help but wonder if something else was involved in her passing. Not anything scandalous or plotted, but something queer and uncomfortable that had been with me and my thoughts since I was a child. It dealt with our family, home, and more practically, the old wooden doors. Ooh. Are they white wooden doors? Ooh.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm just gonna get a drink really quick. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Entertain the people.
So, do you just want me to keep reading while you're not?
I'm good.
Okay.
It all began with trouble sleeping. For as long as I can remember, I always had trouble falling asleep in my parents' house. My grandmother told me that as a small child, I was prone to sleep terrors. Was it like 9/11? Was she just dreaming about... Oh god. Was she dreaming about 9/11?
I used to have sleep terrors.
Not sleep nightmares.
It's where you just wake up and it's almost like you're still in a nightmare.
Oh. Do you ever get it where you're just like about to fall asleep and you just feel like you just fell like 50 stories and then you're like, oh.
to be honest, I kind of like it happens, but I want it like
you're just scared AF at first.
Yeah. But like when I wake up and I realize that I'm not from a 50-story building, then it's all good.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Not that I know of.
Oh. Well, one time, basically you're asleep, your body's asleep, but your brain is conscious. Different than lucid dreaming, but
You just so isn't it basically when you just can't move?
you're conscious, like you're awake. But like when you're in sleep paralysis, your brain is like imagining things. Like it may be imagining someone walking into your room, or like someone scratching on your door or knocking because it's trying to wake you up. Because occasionally, like if you're falling asleep, your brain's trying to see if you're awake. So then it's like, hey, you awake? And then, yeah. So coming back to the story, she would watch me during the day while my parents were at work, and in the evenings when they went out for dinner and had sex. She told me that she was watching me at the night a bad storm hit her neighborhood. A tornado had been spotted that night, but never touched down. However, isn't that what classifies it as a tornado instead of a funnel cloud? Jazz! Oh my god. However, the lightning did claim the house's electricity. My grandmother raced to the bedroom. Why doesn't she have like a $20,000 UPS? God.
Yeah.
Worried about the window facing my crib would break under the violent wind. There was something else she was afraid of as well. When my grandmother picked me up from my crib, she felt something in the room. Something new, different, and dark. My grandmother, who came to America from Italy as a child, told my parents that she felt a strange presence that night and begged them to allow her to do a prayer to remove the maloik. Oh, train driving through my room. An old world I don't even live near a train track. Ooh, creepy pasta. An old world superstition. But my parents, who were religious, believed in angels and demons, not folklore. They didn't want to dabble in curses and superstition. Wait. So you're like, so your mom is like, hey, I'm pretty sure there's some like demon in your child's room, and I can get rid of it if you let me. But you know, it's all like, cool if you don't want me to. And then she's over there another time and she just doesn't do it, and I'm like, what? God.
Now we're good. We're good. Just leave it.
They just wake up, the child's being like strangled in the middle of the night. And it's like, you're next, written in the child's blood on the wall, but the child's just fine somehow. As I got older, the sleep terrors continued. So she's dreaming about 9/11 a lot. As I got older, the sleep terrors continued as nightmares. Wait, so what are sleep terrors? Are they like, you wake up and you're like...
So it's like you wake up and you can fully... It's basically like sleep paralysis, almost.
But you can like fully move your body.
But yeah, you can like fully move.
But your brain is still
around.
like...
So like sometimes I'd wake up
things.
and I would think that the floor is made out of nails just sticking up.
Well, as we know, you can lay on that, kind of.
And I'd get up and walk over into my parents' room and be like, "Oh my god, the floor is made out of nails!" Just pointing at the floor as I'm standing on it, and they're just like,
"Are you drunk? Who have you been hanging out with?"
But this was when I was like 5.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I know it's common for young children, but I didn't know what it was. Okay, I'm gonna stop interrupting my own reading. It wasn't uncommon for me to wake up hours after going to bed only to be afraid to fall back asleep. Basically me. Later in high school, I dealt with my insomnia by not sleeping for days, until I could fall asleep quickly. It wasn't until I went away for college that I was able to sleep to rest peacefully. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I attribute my difficulty sleeping all those years to the doors in my parents' house. There were big, plain wood doors.
You ever think about, like, I don't know, just getting some, like, steel doors or something? Would that make it better?
they like deadbolt like 16 times. So if someone does break in through your window, you're screwed.
Yeah, so you can't get out.
Maybe you get a steel window. I would spend hours looking at the patterns in the grain, finding shapes and images in them. Like, wait, my doors are like this. Oh, fuck. Actually, they're not white, so whatever. I wonder, one would do with with clouds. The more I looked, the more I saw, until the images seemed so clear to me. Strange famished figures, naked with one leg or half a torso, rabid dogs, an old bearded man. I saw faces too, one-eyed, mouths open, sometimes made of knots in the wood, all suffering as if the split spirits of these things had somehow become trapped in the wood. Fuck, this is... You know what? You know, bathroom door on the first floor was the worst. It was positioned next to the door leading to the basement, and the lock in the doorknob was finicky. It would sometimes get stuck or give way, locking or unlocking it by itself. Okay. The
So it just swings open. You're just standing there naked.
And then all of a sudden you see written on the door, sick prank. Her face. Oh wait, what? In the center of the door, there was what looked like a woman in intense pain.
Probably because she's getting raped.
As if she was in labor, huh? Almost. Well, maybe she got that from rape.
Yeah.
Her face was contorted and blurred with vertical lines of grain, tearing its way out from what I could only imagine as her stomach. In my childlike imagination.
So a C-section?
Yeah, basically. Was a wide-eyed creature. I would see the bathroom door in my dreams as well. I had terrible nightmares where I was floating and
really smart if he can,
trying to get out of the bathroom, but I was being pulled backwards by an invisible force, unable to escape. It would suck me into the darkness of the room. The door would slam shut and lock before I would have a chance to wake up panicked and out of breath.
So, like...
No! The nightmares and lack of sleep only made me... Oh, okay, this is loud. It's like 2 decibels over what OBS limits.
Oh.
Go.
So, question... I mean, that kid must be really smart if he can already do a C-section by himself. But, like...
In his dreams, he's just, like, giving people C-sections. Okay.
And another thing is, I mean...
With, like, a machete.
Maybe the darkness that she was being pulled into was just a turd. Because, I mean, it is in the bathroom.
Okay, we're gonna be here all day, considering it's been 33 minutes.
Yeah, and we're only on the second story.
Okay.
I picked 2 small ones for the next.
Yeah, my next ones are fairly short, too. The nightmares and lack of sleep only made my already... Why? Why didn't I? You know what? Only my my already active imagination. What? Oh, worse. Okay. What? Oh my god. The strange images in the door weighed on me. There was a door for every room in the house. I could not escape. Did you ever think that someone just drew on it with a crayon? Jeez. They were a constant presence, staring out at me from the wooden veneers. As a child, I began to see other things that found a way out of the trappings of wooden frames. Not things I could look at directly, but rather things that appeared in my peripheral vision. The kinds of things that always begged to be questioned. Ooh, was someone there, or was my imagination getting the best of me? Over time, I got better at being watchful and looking without shifting my gaze. One night, when I was 6 years old, I went into my parents' bedroom feeling guilty that I wasn't yet asleep. I needed to be reassured and comforted because I had scared myself badly. My mother gave me a hug and asked me what was wrong. I told her that I could see things out of the corner of my eyes, and she asked me about their appearance, but I couldn't get a look at them. As soon as I turned my head, they were gone. She asked me when the last time was that I saw one. I told her that there was one with us in the corner of my room. My mother looked over at what there was an empty corner in their bedroom. See, I know this is something... Well, no, I know this is something that psychics claim to have. Like, they can see, like, spirits out of the corner of their eyes. So, like, is that what's happening here?
I don't know, maybe.
She told me they were that maybe they were angels sent by God to watch and protect me. But they weren't. Something in the pit of my stomach would turn, and I would feel sick around them. So...
Well, maybe they just wanted to make sure that...
So, no one ever thought to actually let the grandma do the thing? Like,
then,
she's freaking out because of the shit in her room.
Murdered.
Yeah, she's gonna get triple axe murdered.
And triple axe Ray murdered.
Oh god, we need to be better at this. They were motionless beings, staring blankly at me, only moving when I wasn't looking. So it's like weeping angels, slowly getting closer to me every time I looked away. I had first discovered them in my peripheral vision.
Looking away, and then boom.
Yeah, weeping angels, there you go.
Shit's not gonna get closer.
Where is Doctor Who when you need him? I had first discovered them in my peripheral vision outside my bedroom, on the stairs, late at night. You know what, I would never leave my house. I would never go back to that house again. Okay. Oh wait, where the fuck was I? I'll just assume I was here. I would try to quickly shift my gaze to refocus on them, but they were always gone. I'd eventually look away from them, and find them again at my bedroom door, and even closer at my desk. Ever present, just outside of sight. I decided that they must be demons!
Oh.
Not the Red Horde. Demons! From cartoons, but something else. They seemed old, as if they were somehow misplaced, out of time. At night, when I would see them, I would be too afraid to move or do anything but stare blankly, not giving them a chance to move closer. I'd just end it right there. Just slit my throat. Fuck, this is... How many paragraphs? Oh, it's almost over. Crap, where was I?
Yeah, I stopped scrolling with it because I was like, oh my god, this is forever, and I'm gonna hear the same stuff from you.
Oh, here we go. Sometimes I would hear them talk to me in my head. Oh. They would tell me to do things like wait in the corner of the room, or flood my mind with images of strange exotic places. Exotic monkey porn. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Okay. I just thought exotic, and then I thought porn, and then I thought monkeys. So I would sometimes do what they said, though nothing ever came of it. My mother panicked one afternoon when she couldn't find me. She searched the entire house, eventually finding me in the bedroom closet. Yep, she's just a dead body. I don't know how she's writing this story, but okay. Where the wall... Oh, wait, what? She found me... What? She eventually found me hiding in my bedroom closet, facing the wall where the voices had told me to wait. She was in tears when I told her about the voices. She bought me a rosary and asked if the demons were the reason I was having trouble sleeping. She should just get a Ouija board, because those always work out. Eventually, my father blessed the entire house with holy water. He's just running around with like a hose. Yeah. Be gone, demons! Room by room, as a part of the celebration of... Someone's screaming in the background back there. I hear him. I hear something.
Yeah.
What? What are you screaming about?
Nothing, it's just my brother.
Celebration of Epiphany, recommended every year by the church. It was after this, when I was still seeing them, that my mother became bothered by my demons and their doors. It began to weigh on her as well, until they slit her wrists. Actually, I think they did. Whatever. I grew up in a suburb just outside of Cleveland. Never moved to Cleveland Brown. Okay? In a working class neighborhood, predominantly made up of Irish Italians and Sylvanians. I don't know where Sylvania is.
There's aliens there.
Sylvanians.
Oh, I thought you said something about aliens.
You're stupid.
So I
and
figured
ghosts.
it'd be something about like Mexicans hopping the border or something.
Bloody Mexicans hopping the border, mate. I'm good at doing Australian accents.
Donald Trump could make a scary story about Mexicans hopping the border.
No, don't bash him. The libtards already hate me enough. I was having very seriously. Oh wait, well, nope. Religion was very much a part of my life. My parents were passionately involved in the church as well, and it was through them that I learned to take the sightings I was having very, very seriously. Gotta get a drink.
Seriously? Figured I'd just finish off like the sentence there.
I said seriously.
Oh.
Instead of denouncing my demons as a part of my imagination, my fears are reinforced and their existence conformed through the power of faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and community. One night we had a priest who was new to the parish over to our house to meet the family. After dinner he asked if there was anything I wanted to ask God for. I told him that there are demons in this house that hide in the doors. I wanted them to go away. My parents shared a look.
Throw the doors out.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. But it's stupid.
If they're only in the doors, dumbass, just throw out the doors.
My parents shared a look of concern as my mother tried to explain. The priest looked at the doors before he left and assured me everything was okay. Synthetic everything was okay.
Oh.
Later that evening, he spoke with my parents. Something was settled between adults. A couple of months later, my father did a small home renovation, which included replacing all the doors with new ones. With white ones. Oh, this is the tale. It was relieving for the doors to be finally gone, and I thought I would now be rid of the strange creatures and able to sleep. But it was too late. My mother told me that she was having the nightmares now as well. Something about the doors, she would say. As I got older, my doors look like the ones that are described in the story right now.
So you're just gonna paint them white?
No.
Why not?
Because...
You don't...
Yeah.
You don't want nightmares?
Something about the doors, she would say. Shut up. As I got older, I read about the possession of objects, like the Annabelle doll, and how Native Americans believed evil spirits called the Wakuna, but I mostly ignored the demons and eventually stopped seeing them. Oh. Fuck off, demons.
Yeah,
Fuck
so
off.
you're gonna just be like, fuck off, demons. And keep
I'm
paying
spinning
attention
around
to
in my
something
chair
else.
right now, flipping them off.
and then you'll be fine. I don't have enough headphone cord to do that, or else I'd do the same.
Well, I kind of had to do both ways, but yeah.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, because I might just tear
It's
my
like my
laptop off my desk.
Well, I've knocked my PC off my desk from doing
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah, somehow the PC got pulled off the desk before the cord came out of it. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about your
no
computer
longer-
just falling off the desk while you're
Well,
sitting in a
it didn't entirely fall off,
fucking
but it
demon.
almost was. It was all the way off, but I caught it, so.
I totally want that on film. Can you just recreate the same thing, but with you spinning, screaming, "Fuck you, demons"?
No. Okay.
And then I'll do
no,
one
we
of
need to
those
read this.
circles.
We need to read this.
I'll do one of
It's
those
already
little
been
red
an hour.
circles around the computer and just say "demons did this."
There's just a pentagram. Oh god.
Yeah, and then write.
Okay, we need to read this.
Israel
It's already been 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. But I mostly ignore the demons and eventually stop seeing them. Fuck off! Despite my mother's wishes, I no longer went to church and I refused to talk about religious matters or anything involved in the strange things I had seen and felt in the house. The strange things I had seen and felt in the house. I told myself that the horrors I faced as a child were due to my I think I have a bit of a cold mixed with like almost barfing.
Oh, yeah. See, I always have a cold, so I like.
It's like because you don't ever sleep.
Maybe I don't
I
know.
faced as a child due to my overactive imagination and strict religious upbringing. Yet your mom's having them now? Okay. By the time I left college there had been no talk of ghosts, demons, or nightmares for a long time. Although I would still occasionally get that sick feeling in my stomach late at night when I was near the downstairs bathroom door. Doo 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 doo. No, give the dad the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my parents would later divorce my mom, keeping the house and working at the church. Okay, that's stupid. I moved away for work to Twin Falls. It wasn't until my dad called to tell me about circumstances of my mother's passing that I began to wonder if something more had happened to my mother. This is spooky. I made the trip home to find that my childhood neighborhood had been hit hard by the recession. It was now only a faded memory of the town I grew up in. The corner ice cream parlor was now a get cash fast lender, and the streets were relatively empty and bleak. Hey, that's the name of my song. I'm sure empty's in one of my song titles at least once. Houses were boarded up, and my old high school had closed. Parked at the red light district, I had watched the traffic lights signal to empty streets. My parents' house even looked different. Old, there was just demons staring out all the windows, and suddenly a door came flying out the house, hitting my car, killing me. That's not in the story, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
old
not
and not as well kept as it was when my father had lived there. The grass had been overrun with weeds, and the siding was dirty. We stood in front of the house that afternoon after the funeral, my brother's father and I. My brothers explained to me how my mom had been stressed. Her mood swings had been violent, and her sleeping pattern was erratic. She would go for long periods of time without sleeping, and then fell into deep sleep for days. My brother told me how late one evening after work he had gone over to our mother's house to check on her. It had been 2 or 3 in the morning by the time he had arrived and let himself in. Finding our mother in the kitchen making breakfast, he told me she had become confused about the time. No one thought that, like, oh, she should move. They're just like, yeah, fine, whatever. Let's see. He explained.
Could have just set the clocks for her and then said, "Hey, it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are you doing here?"
He explained that she was trying different medications to help with the insomnia, and the doctors thought mood swings and suicide could have been a side effect. I told them how I used to have trouble sleeping in our house about the demons. They laughed. They were too young to remember. I told them that I thought I was going to sleep better after Dad had replaced the doors, but it wasn't until college that I slept well. My dad stopped me and told me that he never replaced the doors. He had just painted them white. Credit. Matt Masika. So, not only did he lead to his mother or to his wife dying by just painting the doors white.
Yeah, hey, they got divorced, so his ex-wife died.
He still went to the funeral, so that still shows that he has some care for her in his heart. God, let's see. Tired Eyes is 4 minutes. That's only 8 paragraphs, so we should be fine. So, it's only been 50 minutes for a total of like 15 minutes story reading time.
Oh, okay, I'll read mine because the next one's only like 2 paragraphs. So. Ready?
Yes. See.
Si,
senor.
I did one really long one, and
Wait,
then I'm doing
statue.
2 short ones.
But give me a second. I'm just gonna open it really quick. Okay, go.
Okay. A few years ago, a mother and father decided they needed a break, so they wanted to head out for a night on the town. They called
Read
their
it more
most
spooky.
trusted. They called their most trusted babysitter.
Read it like you're spooked as fuck.
When the babysitter arrived,
Not like you're crying. That's crying. You're sad. Your dog just died.
the 2 children were already fast asleep in bed.
Your
So
mother
the
just
babysitter-
got murdered by a ghost, and now it's about to murder you.
Oh,
Yeah, go.
so the babysitter just got to sit around and make sure everything was okay with the children. Later that night, the babysitter got bored and went to watch TV.
But there was a
But she
clown in the TV, and it was holding an Axe body spray and murdered her. Sorry.
But she couldn't watch it downstairs because they did not have cable downstairs. The parents didn't want children to be watching.
Oi, mate, I
garbage.
don't want you watching no garbage downstairs, but you can watch it upstairs.
So she called them and asked them if she could watch cable in the parents' room. Of course, the parents said it was okay, but the
I've
babysitter
heard
had
this
one
one.
final request.
I've heard
She
this
asked
one
if she could
before.
go cover up the angel statue outside the bedroom window with a blanket or cloth because it made her nervous. The phone line was silent for a moment, and the father was talking to the babysitter at the time, said, "Take the children, get out of the house. We'll call the police. We don't own an angel statue." The police found both of the children and the babysitter slumped in pools of their own blood within 3 minutes of the call.
Oh, the
No
version
statue was
I heard of this, it was a
Damn, I
clown.
got chills at like the
Yeah.
last 2 paragraphs, the last 2
Yeah, that was
sentences.
scary.
That would be so scary.
I'm still getting chills.
Yeah, like damn. Like I didn't think that it would be that scary because I read the first one. I was like, oh, it's gonna be some bullshit thing about some babysitter, and then
No, the version I heard of this though, it was a clown, and it was in like the parents' room, and basically she asked, "Hey, can I cover up the clown statue? It's making me a little nervous." Silent on the phone for a second. "Take the children to the neighbor's house. We don't have a clown statue." And then eventually, they found out. The cops actually caught him that time, and they were all okay. But it was an escaped asylum or like a mental institute person,
oh,
and they found out that he had like a weapon on him, and he was like planning to murder them. It was
Well,
probably
see,
a weeping angel.
yeah, probably.
I have an odd obsession with Doctor Who. That's a good story though. I'm betting you this is probably the original. You have anything else to say?
No, not really.
Okay.
Do you want me to just read my next one, or do you want to?
Oh, this one's called Tired Eyes. Oh, crap. This one's a long one. Okay, this one isn't very long. Oh, this is the one I was already planning on reading. Okay. Tired Eyes. This one's 8.6 stars.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the last one was only like 9. It doesn't say who it was by at the bottom, so. Or top. I was 15 when it happened. My sister was 5. It started on her 5th birthday when she received one of those dolls that's supposed to look like the owner. It was a standard doll, the same height as my sister, red hair, freckles. It even came with an outfit matching its own for my sister. The only out of the ordinary part were its eyes. My sister had very strange eyes, with blue flecks of brown near the pupil. I used to tease her that they looked like toilet bowls with poop floating in them. I'd never seen another person with eyes like this, but the dolls matched them perfectly. I don't recall who gave her the doll, but I thought whoever it was had taken the time to repaint the eyes as a special touch. She opened the gifts. My sister and her friends began running around dressing up, the usual little kid stuff. I, not wanting to get stuck babysitting, snuck off to my fucking money, bitch, entrepreneur, snuck off to my room and shut the door. I was immersed in a scary story I was reading when I heard the door creak open. Creak. My voice won't get high enough, but do the creak. Can your voice get higher than mine?
Eek.
Fuck. I used to be able to do it naturally, and considering what I was reading, I flipped my shit and turned around as fast as I could. Sitting nudged between the mostly shut door and the frame was my sister's doll. Ooh. Had there not been a gang of little kids in my house, I might have gotten a bit scared, pulled out a Glock, and shot it in the face. But I was sure that's not in there.
Right along with you, but that's not in there.
But
I don't know if you get a different version or what, but I don't see that.
But I was sure one or all of them had placed it there as a sick prank. I brought the doll back downstairs, and that was the last I heard of it for a few months, save for my sister's stories and packing it around with her constantly. 2 months later, things got weird as fuck. My sister ran downstairs one day screaming that her doll was being mean to her and throwing machetes at her. Knowing that it was just her imagination, but not wanting to upset her, I firmly reprimanded the doll in front. I think I have some form of dyslexia in front of her. Then put it on the top shelf of my sister's closet. Suddenly, it was on my shelf. She seemed satisfied that the justice had not been. She seemed satisfied that justice had been served, and was a bit glad to see that it wasn't strangling her anymore. It was a bit creepy. Okay, it wasn't strangling her. But
I was gonna say I keep reading this and then you. Like,
I'm modifying it to fit my.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It was a bit creepy how much it looked like my sister. It was actually her sister dead from the future.
Well.
Yeah, I thought of the times I'd seen her asleep with it, and wondered if I could even tell the difference in the dark. But that was besides the point, because without my parents' help, my parents' help, the doll would be trapped in the closet, and I certainly wouldn't be taking it down. Later that night, I heard my sister screaming, and I pulled out a Glock and ran into the room to see the doll at the foot of the bed. It wasn't even leaning on something. It was just standing there. Okay, it's called like those pipe cleaner things that little kids use in their art projects.
Yeah, because that's gonna hold up a fucking doll.
The size of a little kid.
Yeah.
Just standing there, staring at her. I grabbed the doll and bolted downstairs to the fire pit. My parents came out to see what was going down and asked what was going on. But I didn't stop to explain. I stuffed the doll in a trash can, pulled out the welding torch.
But why would you...
The blue and brown eyes stared up at you, almost in an angry way. When I went back inside, my sister was back asleep, having been calmed down by my parents, and I was glad to be done with the ordeal, or so I thought. Suddenly, it was strangling her. The next morning, as I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, I saw my sister at my door. No, the doll at my door. I blinked at my blurry morning sight, and when I opened my eyes again, she was gone. I walked to her room to only see her sound asleep. It was the doll!
Mhm.
Odd. I thought it must... I would... If I wrote this, it would just be getting straight to the point.
Mhm.
Odd. I thought it must have been a trick of the eye. But later, that night, it happened again. I was awoken by footsteps, and saw what I thought was my sister standing outside my door. I turned... Oh god, that makes my eyes water. Shit. That's one of those voices you can't do, because otherwise it makes your eyes water. Like, especially when you're, like, talking really close to someone. Like, you'll just go, I saw it knocking next to... And then it, like, vibrates your nose just perfectly.
Mhm.
And your eyes are just like, fuck! Your eyes are just cussing out your nose. God. I turned on... I turned on the light. I turned the switch... I turned the switch on the light, only to see there was no one there. Once again, she was fast asleep in her room when I checked. The garbage had not yet been picked up, so I decided to check the bin tomorrow morning, but I would bring a Glock. Maybe my dad was playing tricks on me. The next morning, as I suspected, the trash can was empty. While we ate breakfast, I confronted my dad. Dad, did you put Jane's doll outside my room last night? Or, ooh, oh, he's asking, okay. Dad, did you put Jane's doll outside my room last night or this morning? I asked. What? Don't be stupid. That doll's out in the trash where you left it. No, I checked. It wasn't there. Maybe some kid wanted it and took it from themselves. How should I know where the damn thing went? Also, have you seen my Glock?
What the fuck?
That was the end of the
some random ass 15-year-old kid that has a Glock.
No, this is the dad. This is the dad.
Oh.
The 15-year-old took the Glock.
Oh.
In my version. That was the end of the matter. Strange, but I shrugged it off. God, I regret that. Suddenly, I bought 6 shotguns. The end. That night, my sister was scared, so I agreed to stay in her room all night. We heard terrible things. And then Bill Clinton showed up and raped us both. Whispers and laughs, I swear they were my sister's voice.
Well, yeah, well, you're raping her.
No, Bill Clinton is.
Oh.
Yeah. That's, incest and rape and pedophilia. God. We were, whispers and laughs.
Lifetime limited power warranty on used cars.
Footsteps above and around us. We were petrified, but soon enough, the noises stopped and sleep outweighed fear. I dreamed the doll sneaking into the room with us. Ooh.
And then it offered me a free lifetime limit.
I then pulled out my Glock and said, "No, I don't want your lifetime car insurance." Oh my god.
It's way funnier when you add in fucking powertrain.
Free volcano insurance for life. Even though we live on an island in the middle of the ocean. Sorry. I dreamed of the doll sneaking into the room with us, but in my dream, it occurred to me that ripping the doll's head off would stop.
Then
That's so funny to do the Barbies. No. To this day, I don't know where I got that thought, but I wish I hadn't. I woke to see that doll lying.
I see the best credit cards of 27.
Kill me now. I grabbed the doll in the dark and held it down. I remember it felt heavier than I remembered. I grabbed hold of the hair. It actually turns out to be his sister, so lifelike, and pulled as hard as I could. I looked into the eyes. I had to pull harder than I thought. Suddenly, my sister was not in her bed. She was in my hands. Her head in my other hand.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
it looked as if there were fear in its eyes. Finally, there was a sickening rip. The head popped off. I smited. And then, only realizing how tired I was, I laid down, kicking the head and body away so I could sleep. Then, I pulled up my Glock and unloaded 16 clips into it. I woke to the sound of screaming. My mother was hysterical.
Because she forgot to get her free lifetime power.
Free lifetime limited car insurance. Her face was covered in tears. I looked around me. I was surrounded by blood. It was on the floor, my hands. My mother continued to shriek as she held the doll's head close to her chest. Why was she so upset? I saved us. Where was all this blood coming from? I looked around, and lying in my sister's bed, I saw the
It was
doll.
a paper saying free lifetime.
No, he ripped off his sister's head.
Ha!
So his sister didn't even think to scream.
He must have been really fucking strong if he rip off his tires.
An entire human head, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, hey, remember he got that free lifetime limited powertrain on his used car.
You did. Okay, want to read one of yours?
Okay.
I'm actually gonna drink something this time.
Fucking love free lifetime limited warranty on used cars.
Radical Islam. That's like the funniest thing ever, though. Like, you're just, like, randomly just talking. Like, people will just like, this one time, this kid, we were just talking about, like, memes or something. And then suddenly, just Radical Islam.
Okay.
It's really funny at just the perfect time. Okay, go on.
I hate it when my brother Charlie has to go away. My parents constantly try to explain to me how sick he is. That I am lucky to... fuck. You screwed me up. That I am lucky for having a brain where all the chemicals flow properly to their destinations. Like undammed rivers. When I complain about how bored I am without little brother to play with. Oh, gross. They try to make me feel bad by pointing out that his boredom likely far passes mine, considering he's confined to a dark room in an institution. I always beg for them to give him one last chance. Of course, they did at first. Charlie has been back home several times, each shorter in duration than the last. Every time without fail.
Every time we saw a pile of kittens with their heads ripped off in his bedroom.
Okay. The neighborhood cats with gouged out eyes showing
up.
Wow,
I didn't even read that far, and I was still getting... Wow, I'm
My dad's razors found dropped on the baby's slide in the park across the street.
How do you know it's his dad's?
Don't ask me. Mom's vitamins replaced by bits of dishwasher tablets.
Okay.
My parents are hesitant now, using last chances sparingly. They say his disorder makes him charming. Makes it easy for him to fake normalcy and try to trick the doctors who care for him into thinking he is ready for rehabilitation. But I will just have to put up with my boredom if it means staying safe from him. I hate it when Charlie has to go away. It makes me have to pretend to be good until he is back.
This isn't even scary.
Damn! You know what? That means that she's the one that's doing all this shit, and she's just blaming it on Charlie.
Oh, God.
So Charlie has to live his fucking life in an institution because his sister likes gouging out cat eyes and leaving razor blades on park slides, and then trying to kill off her mother with fucking dishwasher tablets.
Wait. Oh, I'm drunk. So, my turn for the rest of the stories.
Yep.
Yep.
God, this is a long podcast. This is an hour and 9 minutes.
This one is 3 sentences. No. Yeah, 3 sentences long. Okay. It is a horror story.
Wait, which one? Number 4.
It's called Really Short Tale. It's number 3, I think. It's the first one that's a Reddit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go.
A young girl is playing in her bedroom when she hears her mother call to her from the kitchen, so she runs downstairs to meet her mother. As she's running through the hallway, the door to the cupboard under the stairs opens. A hand reaches out and pulls her in. It's her mother. She whispers to the child, "Don't go into the kitchen. I heard it too." Like, that's just so good for them. Like, that's scary.
I mean, I kind of want to know like what's in the kitchen now, though.
Yeah, like, it's such a good cliffhanger. It's like such a spooky story, but it's also like bad. It's like so good that it's bad. Kind of. Okay. This one is a single paragraph. A few months ago, a friend of mine, who is an up-and-coming nature photographer, decided to spend a day and night alone in the woods outside of her town. She wanted to get a few photos of the woods and wildlife as naturally as she could for her portfolio. She wasn't afraid of being alone, as she had camped by herself many times before. She set up a tent in the middle of a small clearing and spent the day taking pictures. She filled up 4 rolls of film on that trip, but when she got back and developed them, she saw 4 pictures that unsettled her. These 4 pictures were taken from inside the tent, of her asleep in the middle of the night. Like, that's just so, like, spooky. It's just like, ooh. Like, it just sends chills down your spine, and you're like, what was taking the pictures? Who was taking the pictures? It's just so good with a K.
Well, I mean,
good with a K.
What if she just accidentally set her camera up on a timer?
Well, I'm assuming if it's film, it's not going to be on a timer.
I mean, it could be. Or no.
No. I do not accept this.
Okay.
Yes. Si, senor. I've been lying down for hours now. It's 5:35 a.m. Hey, it's me. And there's not much I can do now. Let me restart. I've been lying down for hours now. It's 5:35 a.m. and there's not much I can do. You know what the worst part about my situation is? I'm in the same room with my parents. Every night, they bang each other. They keep looking at me, and I can't help but look back and try not to cry or scream. Their eyes are focused on me, and their mouths are open wide. There's a strong scent of blood, and I'm paralyzed with fear. Here's the thing.
And then all of a sudden, Mr. Meeseeks comes out.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! No, shut up, shut up.
Okay.
This is a good story. The second that I make any hint that I'm not asleep anymore, I'm completely fucked. I will die, and there's nobody around to save
because
me.
I didn't get the limited time free powertrain warranty.
I've been trying to think a way out of it, but the only idea I have is to rush for my bedroom door, run outside the front door, and scream for help, hoping my neighbors hear me. It's risky, but if I stay here, I'll surely die. He's waiting for me to wake up and see his masterpiece. What? Okay. You're probably wondering... I don't know what this is, but okay. You're probably wondering what's going on. I do get ahead of myself sometimes. About 3 hours ago, I heard screaming from the other side of the house. I got up and went to check on the noise, and I realized that I had to use the restroom. Instead of doing the smart thing and investigating, I used the bathroom first.
So she heard screaming, then she was like, "Oh shit, I gotta shit.
I gotta take a piss. Give me a minute." I could have gotten myself killed right then and there for my stupid actions. I actually did my business, took a peek outside the bathroom, and there was blood on the carpet. So instead of investigating or calling the cops, you know, like, oh shit, there's a shit ton of blood on my carpet.
That's why we invested in wood floors, so it's easier cleanup. No.
Then listen further. I got very worried and ran back to my room and hid under my sheets, like the PU55Y pussy I was. I tried to convince myself to go back to sleep, and that it was really just some vivid dream or something. I heard my bedroom door open. Like the terrified child I was, I peeked
And
from
it
under
was a
my
car
blanket.
salesman offering to sleep.
I peeked from under my blankets to see what was going on. I could see something dragging my dead parents into the room.
It was the car salesman
No, stop!
that offered me a free.
You're ruining the mood. You're ruining the mood. Whatever it wasn't human. I can tell you that. It was hairless, with no eyes, and no clothing.
Well, yeah, most car salesmen, are bald.
It walked like a caveman. Okay, Doctor Who messed up and brought a caveman back, whatever. With its back slouched as it dragged my parents. But this thing was much smarter than any caveman. Oh, it's an intelligente caveman.
Because it knew how to offer you a free car trade warranty.
It was aware of what it was doing. It propped my dad on the edge of my bed and made him face me. Then it sat my mother down in the chair and positioned her towards me as well. After that, it started rubbing its hands on the walls, staining them with blood, and then drew a circle with a pentagram in it to finish it off.
It said, "Sign here for the free limited power screen."
No. To finish off, it scribbled a message on the wall that I couldn't read in the darkness. It then positioned itself under my bed, waiting to strike. The scariest thing is now. My eyes have adjusted to the darkness. Since then, I can read the message on the wall. I don't want to look at it because it's terrifying to think about. I feel the need to see before I'm killed. I peek at the creature's masterpiece. I know you're awake. That's some pretty good spooks.
You know what I think is funny? Is if I just replace any of the scary people with car sales. Makes it hilarious.
It does. It's a very... No, it's used car insurance salesman. Used car insurance. Oh, God. Okay, so are you ready to discuss or come up with spooky stories off the top of our heads about used car insurance salesmen?
So one time, there was this freak I was hanging out with. It was a car salesman, and at midnight, we were hunted down by axe murderer clowns. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, I got some pretty scary shit to lay out here. Okay, ready? CNN, NBC, BBC.
This is
ABC,
actually what he wrote down on
Fox,
his notes.
NPR. I know, the screen is recording it.
And then there's a comma after NPR, and it's just blank.
Well, yeah, blank. This is scary.
It spooks you.
Yeah.
No, then we gotta do a space and a period.
Oh yeah, end period scared me too. Get it?
Okay. I just wrote the freak time I was hanging out with SyntheticTech, Jonathan, at midnight, and we were hunted down by axe clown murderer clown. That's actually what we wrote down first. So we finished trick-or-treating or something. Okay, that's because it's almost Halloween. And suddenly, we just saw some axe-wielding clowns staring at us from the woods.
Axe body spray.
Yeah, they had axe body spray plastered onto their suit thing, and then they axe murdered us at the end.
Yeah, basically, that's all you need to know.
Great, now it's gonna happen to me.
Did you know that fucking candy is just extremely expensive?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had to go buy some, you know, since this is going on Halloween, I'll just say the other day.
Yes.
because yeah,
We're recording
the other
this the
day,
day before Halloween, so I'm just gonna have to be up
because I
until
gotta
like midnight editing. Go on.
So in other words, we went to the store the other day. Shit's $25 for one bag. Like fuck you kids, I'm not spending 25 motherfucking dollars on you. Go fucking trick or treat at someone else, fucking dick bags. I'm gonna leave a note.
Did you not even buy it?
Well, no, because I figured that the note would be easy.
Wait, no, did your parents not buy any then either?
No, we bought some. But
Okay. I was like,
they didn't like the idea of me just writing a note that says "fuck off, dick bags." You can buy your own $25 bag of candy.
oh god. Last year we got some Halloween candy, and no, we got literally. I'm not even joking because we lived in like a townhouse thing. Literally, one person came. No, two people came to the door. Okay.
You know what my mom and dad used to do? They used to just take us to Chuck E. Cheese and buy a bag of candy for us to split because they were like, you know what, fuck this, because we're not gonna sit at home and then take what, because we're in the colder region, so when they didn't really like to go out trick or treating in fucking 20 degrees.
One year I think it snowed.
Yeah, one year I was out walking around while it was snowing. Okay, so.
Yeah. I don't remember that year, but this is before we knew each other too. Just so you're aware.
This is when they just gave it up, and they were just like, you know what, fuck it. Instead of doing that shit, we're just gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese because they have good deals. No one's fucking there, and you can do whatever the fuck you want for like 3 hours.
I have vowed to never go to Chuck E. Cheese ever again. Why? It just sucks. Okay, first off, if you know me, you know what you do.
It's not the best place, but when I was like between like one and like maybe like 8,
that's not even like a clean building on the outside.
After that, we didn't do anything, so we just stayed at home, fucking murdered people with Axe body spray, and then all the good.
Take this, I'm an axe murderer. Bring a can of axe. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, just as a joke.
I'm gonna threaten to murder someone with
Call the cops. I'm gonna kill you with axe body spray.
I'm gonna call the cops and be like,
wasting police time.
I'm gonna call the cops and be like, I'm threatening to murder someone with an axe. So when they show up, I'm just sitting there with an axe body spray can.
I feel like you'd probably still get arrested.
Yeah, it'd be worth it though.
No, but legit, we had like a thing of like 500 things of like candy. Like they were all like Reese's Pieces, like Hershey's, and like Skittles and other shit. And I kid you not, 2 people came to the door, so I like. The first person came and I gave him like 10 things of candy because it was like 30 minutes after it would normally start. Then the next person came like 2 hours later, and I was in the middle of watching Doctor Who, and I'm just like, you know what? Just take as much as I was like, here, 20 pieces, okay? And that was it. So then I just had like 500 things of candy to eat for the rest of the year.
Nice.
It was amazing. So,
you know what I think is fucking horrible is like on Wednesday after Halloween, it'd be like $5 for one of those bags.
It will.
Yeah. We
need Doctor Who sometimes.
Yeah.
We can just go into the future and buy candy.
Buy candy to bring back. We go so far into the future where we bring back new kinds of candy, and people are just like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's like a cure to AIDS candy. Yet it says like Skittles now cures AIDS. Which are vegan now too, so I can eat those.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm happy because I like Skittles. Okay, I'm vegetarian, but I prefer vegan stuff.
I just dropped my phone. And now I'm just gonna
start of the recording. So why do we hate Axe body spray?
I mean, mainly because it just reeks because everyone puts on like the body, like the whole
Wait,
bottle.
is this that stuff? What's the stuff called? I forget. Cologne? Is that cologne?
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Oh, I hate that.
I mean, cologne's not bad if you use like one
Yeah,
little
no,
bit,
no.
but if you're
See,
just gonna
I
like
am
spray
afraid of
on the
school
whole
locker
fucking
rooms.
bottle. Oh
Okay.
god, the school locker room, I swear.
No, this year I
People,
haven't even been changing for gym class because I don't
I
want to
don't
go into the locker room because it just
I don't even
gags
go to
you.
a real school anymore, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
gags you. It is okay if you go to a school, you'll probably know this. But it's only the quote-unquote popular kids, aka assholes,
Yeah.
aka
What
people
they'll
whose
do.
brains are controlled by
I
their
literally
penises.
know fuckers that have taped down the thing that makes it spray, right? Like the little trigger,
That's
and
fun to do
thrown
with a
it
Febreze. Just zip
and
tie it.
and just thrown it straight into the locker room, and that shit just smokes out the whole fucking place.
They would probably have to evacuate the school. Also, don't ever do it in like a normal locker bay, okay? Thank you in advance. In advance. Assuming you ever end up going to school with me. God. Or there are a couple people one person from my school who watches my channel. Hey there. If you're still watching this person from my school, just know that I hate you. Thanks.
Yeah, whoever's gonna be in to an hour and 26 minutes. I mean, I highly doubt it, but I guess thanks.
Yeah, thanks, mate. What if we become like super popular one day?
Well, then maybe.
Yeah, then people will be like, we must analyze every stupid word that they speak. Like, don't you hate it when you have to read a book at school and they just make you like tear apart every sentence of the book? And
Yeah,
it's
pretty
just like,
much.
they're like, oh yeah,
You know what I hate is
what
when you
does
have to
the
get like
stand
quotes
for?
from certain
I hate
parts
that.
of the book.
I had to make a poster. It was due today. It
Oh,
sucked. Yes.
I didn't do anything. I sat on my ass.
Oh god. So
So
that's
at
pretty much
school
it
at
for
your
the
finest.
podcast. Are you ready to end it?
Yeah, I guess, because I mean, this is a long ass fucking podcast.
Hey, we did one
so.
that was 2 hours about news.
Yeah, but at least we were like live streaming this. This is gonna take forever to upload.
And edit. Well, no,
Yeah.
this isn't that big of a file.
Yeah, but you know what I
Usually.
mean.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do these on holidays. Because I need
Maybe
things to
not
listen to in the
Thanksgiving,
car.
but we'll see.
No, I need things to listen to in the car, and we make good background noise, okay? Why do you
Okay.
think I always want to record whatever happens, happens? We make good background noise.
Yeah, I've started to do that too. I just start playing random videos in the background.
I never
Remember-
have used
whatever I'm
myself,
doing.
like, specifically, but, like, I used yours when you were doing it daily. Like, yeah. Because you make good background noise when I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you know, I'll probably get back to doing it daily pretty soon. I mean,
okay, this is like me with my YouTube about page. Which is the saddest thing ever. Okay. Here, so I'm clicking on my about page right now. Okay. I wrote about it. I just read this and I should really get around to rewriting this page because it hasn't changed since I created the channel. I'm gonna put the date I wrote this bit here so that when I realize how bad I am, I will finally remove this and actually rewrite this page because I value my viewers so much. Synthetic Everything. 6/14/2017. So,
well,
4 months ago.
only about 4 months ago.
Okay, actually,
But-
now that I think about it,
okay.
this may be from one of
Well-
my channels before this one. Synthetic Everything 5 days ago. Well, it was 25th, but you know.
Well, my halfway decent computer broke, so I'm stuck with my laptop, which
Oh.
I can't do much on. So
Yeah, there's no chance that you do DaVinci Resolve on there.
I mean, you may end up seeing me buy an Elgato so till I can afford like a $1,200 computer. So
Oh, also, thank you for almost 29,000 views. We'll probably be hitting that tomorrow.
oh,
Yes.
that's nice. I think I'm at what, like 600.
I'll go look. If not tomorrow, it'll be November 1st. Oh, 629.
Oh wow! Holy shit! I got like 30 views just from
Hey,
posting 2 videos
you
on
may
one
want to
day.
turn off the popular channels thing on your YouTube channel. Because it says BuzzFeed, then iDubbbz, then Logan Paul Vlogs, then
Yeah.
Ryan Toys Review, David Dobrik, and wait for it, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he looks like. I'm honestly tempted to look, but I don't want to.
Sometimes I always end up fucking watching it just to laugh my ass off at how fake they are.
I don't want to watch one of their videos because I know I would hate it.
Oh, and it's
In
pretty funny because I
2016.
watched an Onision video today.
Oh, was it the Jake Paul
It was about the
impression?
Jake Paul one, and it was pretty funny because then I could go back into his videos and figure out where he did the same shit.
How accurate was it though?
I mean, it's really accurate.
I don't think he uploads his main channel content to Patreon, which I am now able to pay him with YouTube monies. So it's kind of coming out of my pocket, but not quite so much anymore, which is good because it's $60 a year. Ooh, actually, I just realized I'm making about $60 a year. Cool. But yeah. So, how was your day?
I don't even know who the fuck iDubbbz is, just to be honest here.
Well, I didn't know until who it was, except for this one guy who played him at my, well, like
In
I said,
fact,
one of my friends at my
the
old
only
school.
one that I'm subscribed to is BuzzFeed. When I log on and I look at it,
KYS.
it'll tell me that I have to subscribe to iDubbbz, Logan Paul, Ryan Toys, or you. So maybe it just picks the popular channels that are popular right now.
Well, with mine, it shows channels that are well in my past. It has showed, yeah, because with mine it shows Jim
Yeah,
Sterling and Linus
But
Tech
why
Tips.
why
Those
the
are
fuck
only
would
two
I ever
channels.
watch Ryan Toys reviews?
I don't
don't even know who the
Or
fuck
does yours say
iDubbbz
popular
is.
channels or related
Just popular
channels?
channels.
Oh, because mine says related channels, and one of them is Jim Sterling, who rants about, like, video games, and another one is Linus Tech Tips. And those are, like, the only two
Oh.
YouTubers I watch other than you.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Jake Paul once, and then I wanted to blow my brains out. And then I watched Logan Paul, and then I wanted to triple shotgun murder my brains out.
Kurt Cobain.
And then, yeah. The only one that I like halfway decent is BuzzFeed, because there's this one guy on there that has, like, a bunch of... He makes, like, videos about, like, a fucking bounty hunter trying to find him, or, like, another time he wanted to
Did
test
you know
how
that
good-
working for BuzzFeed physically lowers your testosterone levels?
It does?
Yeah,
Wow.
because none of the people who worked for the BuzzFeed staff actually had normal testosterone, except for one guy, and even then, that was on the low end of the spectrum.
Oh, well, some of the videos are interesting, like the one, I don't even remember what they're called, but like, one time he wanted to test if he could beat, like, a bloodhound smell. I mean, other than that, yeah, I don't ever watch any of the others that are on that list, so...
This can be cringy when we come back to look at this in a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, hey.
I
thought my
kind of
videos
want
were
to
good
click
when I
and
first
see
made
who
them.
the fuck iDubbbz.
Yeah, don't look at his bad unboxing series. Because he basically has people send him stuff. It's a dead
okay.
channel, but like, he basically has people send him stuff, and occasionally, I don't want to say it here on YouTube, but there's rubber wangs. If you get what I'm saying. So.
I don't even...
yeah.
Who the fuck... Do you know who David Dobrik is?
Nope.
The only people that I know out of this list are Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and that's mostly from the Onision series. I mean...
That was a genius, okay.
okay. But I mean, other than
I'm
that...
Jake Paul.
Other than
Go
that,
watch it if you haven't. It's on his
I,
main
I
channel.
haven't ever really watched them. One time at school, everyone was like, "Oh, you gotta watch this," so I go and I try to watch it, and then yeah, I had to murder myself.
Um, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're actually enjoying this podcast, but I've gotta go and edit this.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's
slightly.
only an hour and 45 now. So
35.
okay, well, you know what? You can go to hell. I'm surprised that I got fucking this many, like almost 30 views from the 2 songs that I made,
Serious.
and I've only listened to it like two times.
I listened to yours a couple of times.
Each one.
Like, I think maybe 2 times each, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's pretty good for being gone for a month and then also posting twice and then getting that. So
It says the file is 0 bytes right now, so I think that's probably not a good thing. I'm looking at
well,
files.
I got mine too. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop this now.
Thank you for watching.
And
We'll see you next time.
don't get X body sprayed murdered. Okay, bye.
Or Jake Paul